The Deme situation is absolutely insane. Like I said, she just had to open her mouth. If she just shut the fuck up, she could have completely avoided this whole situation. I think people would not be going after her as hard as they have been if she just never replied to Chibi. Her replying to Chibi completely just it made this into a completely different conversation. When we went from, bitching about R18 art to mocking a man for being cheated on and attempting against his own life. Isn't that just horrible? I can't believe Deme would say such a thing. I thought she cared about mental health. She cares about mental health so much. She even helped with someone that attempted against their own life. She just sounds like such a wonderful and upstanding human being. But then she just, the mask really came off here with Chibi, didn't it? We all knew Deme was a fucking retard. So, we've seen Deme in the news cycle because, she's retarded and says stupid shit. I remember the whole Rosie situation. I just thought Deme was a retard. That's really all I pegged her for. I had no idea Deme was a bitch on top of that. I had no idea. I don't know. Maybe I just underestimated her. I don't know, man. Let's get into this. We got a reverent video today, chat.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rev here.
Hello, Reverend.
We're talking about the pretty messy situation involving the popular indie VTuber Deme, who found herself facing a lot of criticism.
Is that how you pronounce it? I always thought it was Deme. Am I retarded, or is Rev rage baiting? I don't know. I can't tell. I can't tell with this man.
A post she made where she was attempting to set boundaries regarding artwork made of her VTuber model. However, her response to said criticism has really shown her true colors. Many people thinking she is a mean girl who is rubbing.
She is. And by the way, chat, I just want to point out that this was not planned at all. I had no idea that this drama was going to pop off. But I literally, last night, made a fucking tweet talking about how there are a bunch of fucking mean girls and fucking virtue signalers in the Western VTubing scene. I literally just tweeted about this whole shit. And I just want to say, proven right once again.
Being the lowest
I just
moment
can't be
of
stopped,
someone's
chat.
life in their face instead of addressing criticism.
I'm gonna have to change my profile pic. I'm gonna have to take off the Make Dear Great Again hand and replace it with a fucking with the tinfoil hat PFP. It's crazy.
While doing so very hypocritically, where in past situations she has condemned such behavior and even asked for advice when she found herself in a low moment as well. All of this stems.
What horrible! I can't believe Deme would turn her back on us. I thought she was one of the good ones, man. Darn.
From this post she made yesterday, talking about how she's extremely uncomfortable with not safe for work art made of her VTuber model. Now, the hypocrisy people are attempting to point out is the fact that literally the next post was her reposting very suggestive art of her VTuber model, and really she has a history of doing that, but that's a very small portion of this video.
By the way, chat, I don't really give a shit if she wants to set boundaries for, what people can draw of her model. I think it's kind of fucking stupid. You're not. The best thing to do is just ignore it, because you bringing attention to it is not going to stop it. People on the internet are going to do what they do. If you bring attention to it, people are just going to keep doing it more. So there's really just no point to doing something like this. The best thing to do if you don't like R18 or NSFW art of your model is don't interact with it. If you don't interact with it, it's not going to pop up in your algorithm. It's that simple. It's that simple, all right? 1 + 1 = 2 type shit. But if this just stopped at her wanting to set boundaries, nobody would have given that much of a fuck. It's stupid, but nobody would have cared that much.
What I'm focusing on most is her response to the attempted criticism, where Chibi Reviews, for example, is met with this post from Deme, where she's mocking the fact that his fiance cheated on him while she laughs about the scenario, the lowest moment of that guy's life, which is not just a heinous response.
By the way, she it's so funny. I just, you see it time and time again. These people cannot actually argue with you. They, like, Chibi's tweet, what had no personal attacks on Deme. Chibi simply pointed out, how can you be against NSFW art of your model while retweeting NSFW art of your model? How there's an inconsistency there, right? That was all Chibi was pointing out. And Deme does not address it whatsoever. Simply says, Lamau, your fiance cheated on you, bozo. It's like, okay.
In a very shallow one for
I think that's, it sucks that Chibi has to deal with all this shit, man. But I love Chibi. Guy's all right. I don't got any problems with Chibi. But I wish he would stop sharing so much shit about his life. Because when you like talk about shit that you're going through and you're vulnerable on the internet, all you're doing is giving ammo to people that hate you, especially for someone like Chibi, who has a lot of fucking people that hate him. He needs to stop. He needs to stop sharing shit, man. He really does. That's why y'all ain't gonna never catch me talking about any vulnerabilities on the internet, chat. All right, it ain't happening. It ain't happening.
Criticism, but also it brings up her history of dealing with related subjects where she has condemned such behavior and also asked for grace in her own life when she was facing low moments, especially when it comes to her own relationships.
Wow.
For example, when her current boyfriend physically and emotionally abused her and even slashed her with a knife. And she has condemned people bringing this up and bringing up her lowest moment in her life. But
you know, honestly, I've been seeing a lot of people bring that up, the fact that, you know, she went back to her abusive boyfriend that fucking slashed her. And even I, brought it up, right? I commented on that. And I do not care or feel any sort of sympathy for her. If you're gonna start shit slinging and, attack someone targeting the lowest point of their life, I'm not gonna feel bad if people start doing the same thing to you. And honestly, I'll probably join in as well, because fuck you, you're a bitch. If you're willing to stoop that low, then you deserve it. Fuck you.
I guess when it
no
comes
sympathy
to
for this dumb bitch.
Her, it's fair game. So let's get into the post itself that started all this. She said, "Hey, just a reminder, I'm extremely uncomfortable with not safe for work art of me," in quotes. "But why did you make your VTuber look like that?" End quote. "Just because I like sexy stuff doesn't mean I want to see full-blown adult content of it." In quotes, it's just a VTuber, end quote. Who do you think of when you see it? So
not okay. What? This is so fucking stupid. Like, it doesn't get any. It's so dumb. It's so fucking dumb. The VTuber model is a fucking drawing. What? You think it literally? I saw a fucking tweet a couple days ago talking about son of a bitch. Who was it? It was about someone. Their name is escaping me right now, but it was a tweet saying that if you lewd the OC drawing of this YouTuber, then that is racist mentality. What do you mean? It's a fucking drawing. Dumbest shit out. We are stretching the meaning of these words so far. Everything is grape in the big 26 chat.
So a lot of people are
Bringing me
pointing
back to the
out that she has a
Sykkuno drama,
history
man.
of consistently reposting artwork of her model.
I'm trying to
in
leave that
very
black tar
suggestive
heroin in the past, man, alright?
And they think this line she's trying to draw is a confusing one or possibly a hypocritical one. This is some of the responses saying, feels uncomfortable, not safe for work art of herself, reposts not safe for work art. And this is literally the next post she made after claiming she was so uncomfortable with not safe for work art, where this particular art piece, you can see pretty much all of her chest and other parts of her body. It's very suggestive, but of course,
a little bit. And, you know, that's wholesome chunkus, chat. Anybody see the problem here? I don't see the problem here. This is A-okay. This is A-okay in my book.
Of course, people are going to debate about whether or not
this is tasteful goonery.
that is full-blown adult content, as she was referring to, and I guess this is the very normal
I don't know if I would say it's, but it's definitely NSFW.
Response to people making edits of the previous poster and gunning them down because apparently trying to have a conversation about this sort of boundary setting is, well, met with violent hostility, but people are pointing out overall that she has a history of posting very suggestive artwork and sharing it, of not just her VTuber model, but also posting herself in similar sorts of ways. And you can see other quotes like this saying, this would hold more water if you weren't consistently retweeting softcore adult content of your model. And really just looking at her model itself, obviously it is quite revealing. It's just a very messy situation. I'm not here harping on this sort of standard she's setting. It's okay to set boundaries, but in this case,
literally what I said.
It's pretty messy.
It's literally what I said, chat. I don't really give a shit if she wants to set these boundaries. I think it's fucking retarded, but I mean, she's free to do it if she really wants to. I don't particularly care or have a problem with it. But she is not handling the criticism well at all, as we clearly saw with Chibi.
But where I do feel very compelled to talk about all this is where Chibi Reviews, the YouTuber, would reply, where he would raise the same sort of criticism, saying, the level of virtue signaling has stun-locked me. Look at the repost, referring to the same repost.
By the way, I would have never talked about this fucking drama if she didn't say what she said to Chibi. If this was just her being retarded about trying to set these boundaries, I would have never spoken about it. But here we are. She had to reply to Chibi, and she replied in the worst way possible. So now I got to talk about it, and I got to talk about how she's a dumb bitch and a mean girl and a retard. Gotta stand up for my boy Chibi.
Had shared, and this was her response.
Chibi, man.
Not clarifying
Love
anything,
that goofball.
not combating the point being made here. Instead, taking a shot at his lowest moment, saying, "Wait, OMG, aren't you the guy whose fiance literally cheated on you, and your whole friend group sided with her? LMFAO." So she brings up the fact that this.
LMAO, aren't you the girl that went crawling back to your abusive boyfriend after he slashed your ass?
Guy got
That's the real LMAO.
Cheated on. Yeah, they're all horrible people. Obviously, the people who did this in the friend group, all that, horrible people.
Yep.
Why is that funny? How is that even a response?
Yeah. I mean, what are you trying to say here? Like, you're cool with cheating and a friend group turning their back on their quote-unquote friend or ex-friend now at this point, right? Like, what exactly are you trying to convey here? Or is your morality only selective? Is it bad when it happens to people you like, but good when it happens to people you don't like? Is that what we're going with? Is this selective morality, or is this just A-okay in your book? This is perfectly fine.
It's not even acknowledging the criticism whatsoever. You're just
dunking
on a guy with his lowest moment and then laughing at it. And people really did not appreciate this. But for those who don't know...
By the way, I saw it... I think the last time I saw it, I think her reply to Chibi has like 20,000 likes, chat. 20,000 people, sentient human beings, agree with that reply. I really hope that those are like 90% bots. But if those are all sentient human beings, good lord.
A few months ago, Chibi Reviews shared a personal event in his life where his fiance cheated on him with one of his close friends in the friend group.
Such a shitty situation, man. Like, what? First of all, what type of fucking fiance cheats on the cheating is already bad enough. Like, you're already a massive bitch for cheating, and you deserve the fucking curb. But on top of that, cheating with a man's fucking friend. That is some fucked up shit. Like that's why, you know, let me relax. We're on Twitch, right?
Chose
let me relax, chat. Let me relax.
Over him, and he almost drank himself to death in response. And it was surely either the lowest or one of the.
Shout out to Nick and Tectone, by the way, for looking out for Chibi, man. Like it's absolutely horrible, man. Nobody should. I don't wish that type of shit on my worst enemy, man. Like there are a lot of people I criticize and a lot of people that I talk shit about. I would never wish something like I would never wish for someone to go through something like that. That is just terrible.
The lowest moments of his life, but that's now being rubbed in his face when he dared to criticize someone's post. Right, and you can see people saying Western
the Queen
VTubers try not to be terrible people for 5 seconds challenge, impossible. And it seems to happen over and over again, especially with the popular female indie VTubers.
Nobody is surprised, by the way. 90, I would say maybe like 95% of popular Western VTubers are massive fucking bitches. You saw the whole thing like with Bao, right? Like Bao, I don't know, Shy Lily, you know, that whole crowd. They're all bitches. They're terrible people. Here we go.
Where it's like eventually they have this mean girl behavior, and whether or not you want to consider this new for Deme, I don't really know.
It's not new for her.
But this is a really mask-off moment, right? People are looking at this with a lot of disdain. They think this is an incredibly low blow, but it goes way beyond that.
Yeah, she's a bitch.
She is very hypocritical on all of these related subjects, where she has talked about cheating before. In fact, in a recent video from only a few months ago, she was talking about a big cheating scandal in the Japanese streaming scene, and this was her response to people hyping up the guy who was the cheater.
This is a clip from that stream. Look at
No! Is that Mugen? Is that Mugen? Is that baby girl Mugen? Hold on.
People hyping up the guy
is that Mugen?
Who was the cheater.
Watch. This is a clip from that stream.
Chat! Gamers of America! Is that baby girl Mugen? The BBC warrior?
Look at
No! All the men cheering for him? No! Are you dead ass?
all the gifted subs he was getting.
So here she's very angry about men hyping up
selective
the guy
morality
cheating and making light of the event or even glorifying it. But that's exactly what she's doing with Chibi Reviews. She is elated about this and even laughing about it.
Absolute cinema.
So that's a clear level of hypocrisy here. And also people are bringing up that she's always talking about mental health and men's mental health.
Yuppers.
This person saying, a lot of you say you care about men's mental health and then turn around and do stuff like this. Also, Deme has been a piece of crap for a while. Glad you are all noticing now.
Yeah, I always thought she was just retarded. I never knew that she was a massive fucking bitch on top of that. But yeah, the absolutely mask-off moment for her.
Now, and she is the type to make routine posts talking about Happy Men's Day to my fellow men. And that is something I talked about in the month of June. June
XD.
is Men's Health Month But she's making posts like this and then attacking men for having something horrible happen to them, weaponizing their lowest moment when they're faced with criticism. They don't have any other way.
Typical woman, some would say.
Of responding. But it's
Chat, no one will ever make you more sexist than women themselves.
interesting to see how she
put that out
responds
there.
to the misery of chibi reviews,
I
for
co-sign that
example,
statement.
but has a very different level of tolerance and empathy and understanding when it comes to her own life and men in her own life, including her current boyfriend, who she made a big series of call-out posts and called him out on stream, where she
cannot
claimed
believe
that
this.
he was physically and mentally abusing her. And she would make a response when she briefly left him saying, "I'm free."
Friday.
And goes on saying, "After dealing with the things being broken and thrown, screaming in my ear until it rang, having to scream for help till my voice broke because I didn't want my phone taken from me since I took photos of what
So
happened,
good, Chad.
being
It's so
pushed,
good,
being
man.
verbally assaulted."
By the way, I don't support this happening to anyone. But like I said earlier, if she's gonna go after someone for the lowest point of their life, then I'm not gonna shy away from doing the same fucking shit. You deserve it. I don't feel bad for you.
The constant lying,
I
the
don't give a
bruises
shit.
from being held too hard.
You're a bitch.
I
You did it
just
to yourself.
want to move on. Here's the very ironic part. The last thing I want is for people to constantly remind me of everything. So in her own situation, where
Okay, fair enough, We really shouldn't, make fun of people at the lowest point of their lives, very, very hard and, traumatizing experiences. That would just be horrible. Don't you guys think? Don't you think it would be horrible to make light or mock someone or laugh at someone for the lowest point of their life, chat? Don't you think that would be pretty fucked up?
she was mistreated, she doesn't want people to constantly remind her of that situation.
Fair
but
enough.
She is very, very free to do that to others, apparently. But of course,
My queen would
it goes
never.
even deeper than that. The same situation Deme would expand upon in a Twitch stream where she would say that, well, she was hurt with a knife. Saying, we were having an argument that went on for too long and he started getting his episodes going on, his anger issues and stuff like that. He grabbed the knife and I was trying to grab it and it effing slashed my leg. And now there's like
what an
a
asshole.
7-inch scar.
Owie.
And the, I guess now current boyfriend confirmed everything that happened, the verbal and physical attacks. And the only thing he would dispute is that he claimed it wasn't a knife, it was a pair of scissors, but as if that makes a really big difference when you apparently leave a 7-inch wound on someone else. But of course,
some skizzers,
as you can tell, she would eventually get back with him just months later, saying Nikita, the guy in question, and I, a month after canceling him on Twitter. Well, I wouldn't think allegations are really the same as canceling someone, like they're being mean or something. Like, this was pretty serious stuff. But in the replies, she would say, jokes aside,
a little more serious than canceling.
I still to this day get
It's like if we said, like, I don't know, fucking EDP is canceled. He's a little bit more. He's a little bit more than canceled, or at least you should be more than canceled.
Comments everywhere about going back to your abuser. But honestly, I've never been happier and stable, more stable. And she would talk about mental health issues and all these things. But she would end it down here by saying, he took care of me in my lowest. It's nice to know people aren't defined by their lowest moments to the people that matter.
Chat, it's too easy. It's too easy, chat. It's too easy. This is low-hanging fruit at this point. I feel like an asshole.
She's talking about, it's nice to know you're not defined by your lowest moments, but but this is how she
So
responds
good.
to criticism about arts of a VTuber model, rubbing another person's lowest moment in their face and laughing about it. Very, very hypocritical.
What a bitch.
But of course, she likes to talk about mental health issues and people not caring about it.
She does love talking about
on
that.
a different post saying, I'm not going to lie, it's all about mental health, mental health.
The mental health LARP, as I called it over on the Twitters.
Until you actually see someone struggling and suddenly
Yeah, kick him in! You kick his ass down. All right, take it to the chin, boy. Get back on your feet, boy. You what? Your fiance cheated on you with your best friend, and you almost kept yourself safe. Yeah, good.
everyone bats an eye. I will never regret getting hurt by trying to save someone from
ROFL.
If you make fun of it, you're an absolute waste of air. And honestly, you're hurting me more, but I guess that doesn't matter to people.
Shouldn't talk about yourself like that, Deme.
Now, keep in mind, a part of Chibi Review's situation was basically drinking himself to death, being very distraught over what happened to him.
It's horrible, man.
But of course,
it's horrible,
that's
man.
Fair game for her to make fun of. But when she has a similar situation in her life, if you make fun of that or even bring it up, you're an absolute waste of
You're an
air.
absolute waste of space. You're an absolute piece of shit. You're horrible. You're a terrible person.
Hurting her more. She knows exactly what she's doing. She is basically adding insult to injury by bringing this up and rubbing it in his face. Now, of course, there's even more hypocrisy. It really never seems to end. She has talked a lot about the Psychono situation where a very popular streamer was caught being a serial cheater. And
not my goat. not my favorite anime boy failure. He would never. His XP bar isn't high enough.
And the girlfriend actually took him back as a result of all this. But this was her response to the related subject.
But holy, what a piece of shit. The girlfriend is the only person we should feel bad for. I don't know, dude. I feel kind of bad for also the people that he cheated on with.
I don't. Fuck them.
Because they're...
Close your legs, ho!
Just because they're coming out with the fact that they're, you know, I don't know. It's a mess.
I had consensual sex with an adult.
Well, what we do know is that she feels empathy for people being cheated on in this situation.
I don't have empathy. All my empathy points have been used up. All right.
But doesn't feel any sort of empathy.
I'm sick and tired of people trying to weaponize my
weaponizes
empathy against
when
me.
it happens
It's fucking
to
annoying.
someone who dares to criticize her on Twitter.com. And she also has this attitude of throwing a little shade at the fact that the girlfriend took Psychono back, which is, you know, people draw the levels of irony there. But she's talking about the situation.
At least Saikuno didn't slash her.
And people were already criticizing back then. Well,
That's a real man.
Well, you should be aware you have personal experience with someone with high XP, because she said that he must have high XP to be able to keep his girlfriend.
Hell yeah, brother!
And this is yet another post of her situation, basically saying, stop mentioning my situation with my ex. And of course, she would get back with him. So, yeah, she draws this line where you're not allowed to talk about things going on with me and my relationships, but she feels very open doing it to others. And that's why you have posts like this from Parrot saying, guy's fiance cheats on him with his friend.
I saw Parrot's post about it as well.
Friend knows about it and doesn't tell him.
Very based.
Point and laugh at him for it. LMFAO. Your own ex abused you in 2024. Gathering sympathy for your own abuse, but then turning around and making fun of someone else's abuse. You're a hypocrite. And I think that is a very fair set of criticism, given everything we've seen, right?
Hell
she
yeah.
would respond to Chibi Reviews, who would say, so you avoid answering why you retweet not safe for work of
Saw
your
this
avatar
reply as well.
despite being upset about it in the post. Then you cheer on him cheating. Interesting. Well, that's the whole thing too, right? Like, she doesn't make it very clear what she even considers not safe for work, because I think a lot of people would consider what she reposts regularly as not safe for work. I mean, it doesn't have to be completely and utterly 100% fully no clothes involved.
Yeah, something doesn't need to be fully, I guess, to be considered NSFW.
For something to be not safe for work. But then again, that's not really the crux of the criticism here. It has a lot more to do.
Yeah, we kind of lost the plot, didn't we? We kind of lost the plot here. This was all about, fiction and art, and it just became this shit show.
With her response to said criticism, but she replies saying, "My bad for not wanting to see my model getting pounded," as if that's anything he said. "If people want to keep drawing it, then that's their choice, but I'm just not going to support it. Does it make sense to you now?" And she's referring to a reply she would add on to the original thread where she says, "I just feel like there's so many other content creators who would love to have artists draw them in that way, and it's a wasted effort towards me. But I'd like to make this clear. I'm completely okay with sexy stuff. She just doesn't like full-blown adult content." But of course, Chibi Reviews would say, so you could have answered first like this, but used personal attacks and cheered cheating. Not a good look. And yeah,
it's that simple.
That's exactly
that. If she just replied with that initially, this whole situation could have been avoided. But no, she had to go for the personal attacks because she felt really pressed, so she had to go for a low blow there. Just give her a chance, guys. Okay, she's just a woman. Telling you, chat. The 19th.
Where she went first is a pretty telling thing about the kind of person she is. You can debate about the standards she is expressing and whether or not she's following through on that stuff, but it's another thing to bring up other people's terrible low moments while always garnering sympathy for your own low moments and condemning people who would ever bring it up. It's incredibly hypocritical, okay? But the artist who made some of the related stuff,
I saw this as well. It was Mama Akko. I saw Mama Akko repost and talk about this whole situation where, like, the artist the artist is like defending Deme and pushing back on Chibi, despite Chibi sort of defending the artist.
Their own statement where they basically say they didn't know about the standard.
Shit's hilarious.
They're removing the stuff and they worked it out in private and they're going to keep making these things if they feel like it. But of course, they end it by saying seeing my name on effing Chibi Reviews was the final straw. So I guess they didn't really care until they saw someone they don't like talk about it. It just kind of shows the motivation of people like this involved here. But this entire situation...
Now, I already don't like that guy. I don't like the artist already, chat.
Situation is an absolute mess. And, she went after someone and what happened to them and their former relationship and basically opened herself up to a world of criticism way beyond anything to do with arts and what she's reposting, but instead
naturally
her own standards that she has created for herself and for others that she's not following through the second someone gets under her skin with criticism of one of her posts.
I cannot believe it.
Definitely would want to hear what you guys have to say about this. A very messy situation, so please
leave
your comments down below.
Yeah.
But for now, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, consider giving the video a like, consider subscribing and turning on notifications for daily uploads, as well as multiple streams here live on YouTube every week. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
That is the whole situation with Deme. I don't know if it's gonna spiral anymore from here, chat. I don't think so, to be honest. I think this is as far as this is gonna go. People are gonna, be making fun of Deme and all that good stuff, who knows, I might even jump on the bandwagon and make fun of her a little bit. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think this more or less where this is gonna end. I don't expect there to be updates on this whole situation, but yeah, I mean, Deme is an absolute bitch. You know that is the moral of the story, chat. All right, that's the first chat message we got today. Deme is a bitch, and I 100% agree with that. That's the moral of the story, chat. Deme is a bitch.